Good evening, good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Man's edition of Creative Emotions. You know, so far, I just hope everybody's been enjoying their week. We at that midway place. Is this like hump day? Yeah, it's hump day. So I hope everybody's been enjoying their week. I hope you've been having an amazing day. My name is Frederick Wilson, better known as Chef Wilson. I have two of my amazing co-hosts here. And, you know, I always say, no one can introduce you the way that you can introduce yourself, right? So I'm going to start to my right here with my partner, man. This guy, we just be vibing, both of my partners. But, you know, can you please introduce yourself?
How y'all doing, world? Appreciate you, Chef, for having me, you know. Shout out to Q. Thanks a lot. You know, this is the assignment. My name is Lee Polo. I'm ready to put it down, Chef. I got a couple of things in the repertoire that guys I think would need to do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Now, this amazing guy to my left, man, never ceased to amaze me with his quotes and just a book of knowledge. Can you please introduce yourself, please?
Oh, yes, sir. How y'all brothers doing?
What's up? What's up?
Well, my name is Mr. Randy X. I would like to first and foremost say thank you to Miss Quita for letting us get this opportunity to bring the men's edition one more time, because I know that the audience really need to hear men's point of view.
That's true.
Yes. Yes, most definitely. The other day, guys, I was thinking, and I had posted something, and it just came to me for Man's Edition that we are supporting and also building man one show at a time.
That's real.
So we're going to keep having these episodes here, and we're going to give it to you a little bit at a time, but just enough, right? So starting our topic today, we're talking about the assignment. Now, usually if you think about the assignment, you're probably thinking about something that was given to you to complete.
Right.
So, but now, the way that I look at it, we have an assignment that was given to us the day that we came into this earth, right?
Right.
So that, to me, that consists of your purpose and your gifts, right?
Right.
To walk in your purpose and to share your gifts. And that's what we're going to do today, right? And then we're going to talk to other men about sharing their gifts, and if they do not know, to recognize what your purpose is. Because as soon as you recognize what your purpose is the day your assignment starts.
That's
right?
true.
And our purpose is just not to make money. It's just not to make money. So when you think of the assignment, what's the first thing that comes to mind for you, Polo?
For me, Chef, it comes to looking at what did I have on my plate? Mm-hmm. A lot of times we make assignments that aren't the assignment. So it's what's on my plate versus what do I want to put on my plate. So we're looking at it from that perspective, like, okay, this is the assignment, but right now I got this on my plate, so I need to take care of these things, but I got another plate, the entree.
Okay.
And right now I'm eating appetizer.
Right.
I'm looking at that entree and what I can afford and what I want.
Okay.
That's two totally different things when we look at the assignment, and that's how I look at the assignment.
Okay, and I like that. That's why we have you guys here. Randy, when you think of the assignment and how it may impact your life, right? What's the first thing that come to your mind, or first couple or few things?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind to me is, when I hear the word assignment, because you know I love words, is mission. What type of mission that you're going to partake throughout your journey of life?
Okay.
So in order to prepare an assignment, you must know which mission that you are on and what you are working towards as far as goals, as far as discipline, as far as principle, as far as morals and values and what you apply to yourself. you got to know what type of mission you're on in order to prepare for an assignment.
Okay.
In general.
That's important right there. He touched on a lot of stuff because a lot of times we don't really, when we like you said, Chef, the assignment. Do people really take time out to say, I'm gonna put an agenda before myself, versus just continuously keep letting life throw those stones at us, and then that's how we deal with it?
Wow. I like that.
Okay.
That's deep.
Don't be doing all that thinking. Now we say Mount Rushmore up here.
Right. I like that. And when I think about the assignment, that's why I say it's very, very important for a man to discover their purpose in life before someone gives you an assignment, right?
Yeah.
And that's when that frustration comes in. That's when you're spinning your wheels for years before you truly tap into your purpose and your gifts. So they say lots of times you have to know who you are, right? And you really have to know what your purpose is. And I can say that I had spent my wheels for some years because I didn't know mine. And if you don't know yours, I'm telling you, someone will give you an assignment, and it will be to benefit themselves.
That's true.
Right? And it has nothing totally. So what do you think about that? Because I'm just saying that's
true.
That's some real stuff.
That is true.
Right. What do you think about that, Randy?
I mean, first and foremost, a lot of people live their whole life without even knowing their purpose in life. So you tend to gravitate towards someone else's missions and goals. And then you never figure out your own along the journey of life. So, like, when you keep saying assignment, which kind of reaching out to me, is that a person must first know who they are in order to know what they're striving for and what type of assignment that they own. Assignment, let's substitute the word assignment for journey.
Same thing, though.
Right. I know it's the same thing. It's synonymous to each other.
Right.
But I'm just saying, so a lot of people could kind of gravitate towards a lot of variety of understandings pertaining to assignments.
That's good.
That is very good. When I think about that, and when you're talking about assignment, it's always within a given time.
Correct.
And since we're talking about life assignments, it's on this time that you're on this earth, right? So I was thinking about something earlier, and I wanted to say, remember, man, you're only given time once, and it's no such thing as a time doggy bag. So you should use it wisely.
That's important.
You should use it wisely.
Yeah, I like that.
Sometimes we have a lot more time than you actually have, right? Everybody has a date that they're born and a date that we're going to expire, right? So you always have to get up, to me, in the course of the day with a sense of urgency, either by walking in your purpose or discovering your purpose or discovering your gifts. Because you're more than putting gas in the car, going to the job, clocking in, paying for groceries, right? You're more. People need to know that you were here, right? Before you leave this earth. And I thought about that.
Right.
People really have to know that you were here, right? Outside of a good work record.
Right.
What will people say about you? How would they quote you? How have you impacted their lives? Right? So when we talk about the assignment, this is a serious thing. Sure, we're going to go on vacation, we're going to date, we're going to have romantic relationships, you're going to raise children, but that still has very little to do with your assignment. Right? These are people that we most definitely things we're going to pour into.
Well, that's when people look at what we call transformational goals.
Okay.
You got to really understand that when you putting things in order to understand your assignment, or like the brother Randy X said, just understanding the journey that you're on, that you have to really say, okay, where am I at today versus where do I want to go tomorrow?
Okay.
And then how am I going to get there? And then understand that the road may not be paved smooth.
Wow.
Detours may pop up at any given moment. Traffic may be a monstrous. It may come out of anywhere and everywhere. So what do you do when you know all of these things are going? You start preparing yourself for the journey. You start, putting on your armor to say, okay, I know if I go down this road, it usually take me this long, and if it take me a little longer, what am I going to do? But that leads into, which we're going to talk about later, Chef, the transformable goals that I start looking at for myself. To say, okay, these are things that I need to put in place before I even decide what the assignment is past what I already got on my plate. That's what you already had. When you said that meant a lot to me, personally, thinking about it from that perspective. Like, okay, a lot of all these things are coming at you fast in life. What do I do? And how do I do it once they're coming at me?
Absolutely.
Looking at assignments as well is a lot of different tests. Like when you're in a classroom setting and your teacher gives you an assignment, the assignment is most likely like a test. So when we look at assignments, when we talking on this podcast, we dealing with self. So anybody that's listening out there, as far as us as well, as we giving this dialogue to everyone else as well as ourselves, we got to tap into self. Everything is pertaining to self. So once you say assignments, it's all about you testing yourself now. So when you testing yourself, so now you adding up goals, you adding up manageable skills, you adding up different type of ways to make yourself a better person and what you need to work on. So you have assignments. Assignments is different tests that you are testing yourself towards being a better individual and planning for the future. A lot of us live for the moment, and that's what is the matter with society right now. And I'm not going to exclude myself from that because I done bumped my head along the way too and need help with manageable skills and things like that. Ain't nobody perfect, right? But what really stands out to me is pertaining to assignments is the spiritual. I want to hit on the spiritual for a minute because every spiritual has a physical counterpart attached to it that's pertaining to self, right? And submitting your will to do the will of God is the assignment. That's our goal in life. So when you mention religion is just pertaining to reconnecting you back to the source, which is God, right? So we can never have a dialogue without having God in the equation.
I agree 100%.
Right? Because that's how people get to tapping into themselves, right? So when submitting your will to do the will of God. So the assignments that we have that's just on the spiritual, right? But we got to hit the mental. What is the mental assignment as well?
So I'm glad that Randy X went there, because that goes back into something I was talking about earlier, Chef. So what I said was transformational goals, right? So with these transformational goals, I call it a triangle effect. Okay. So you got what Randy X said, the spiritual goals. Just giving examples. Being thankful, having faith, speaking life into your goals spiritually. Then I said, the personal goals. That'll be another part of the triangle effect, the transformational effect. So it's like looking at it from educating yourself, being healthy, seeking counsel or consulting on issues and matters of the heart, the mind, the soul, the body, whatever, because it's all on a personal level. And then the last one is revenue goals, especially for men. This is important.
Absolutely.
Because what are your desires? What are your opportunities? And then, as I said already before, I stated in a different way, what is your reality? Because we have to look at things from these 3-point transformational goal type systems, and each of what we're going to hit more on it just for that. But this is something that I made for myself. And I said, you know what? I wanted to transform. I wanted to be someone else. But how do I become this other person? Because, like Randy X said, when you're in a lower self or a self that's not doing as good as you can be, what do you do to change? Yeah.
See,
one of the strong ride with that one.
It's two different substances in the universe, and the first substance is the most powerful source in the universe is the made of man of a black man. right? That's why society wants to keep us down in general, because they know when we're in the conscious state of man, we're in a godly state.
Absolutely.
We are very powerful. We're in the godly state. Once we're in an ungodly state, meaning in your lower self, right, you become a devil overnight, right?
Yes.
So you got to be careful with that. That's very powerful. That's why I'm glad that Lee Polo tapped on to that.
Just the right.
But you got it for real though. You really got to be careful, bro, because you could turn devil overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you could turn devil overnight is because you're not tapped into your spiritual force.
I agree.
Just my opinion, I don't believe that nobody can never reach their true potential if they not connected to their spiritual force within themselves.
I agree. And just touching on that, I talk with a lot of men, or I just end up hearing conversations, and sometimes it's common for me to overhear a man say, "Man, I don't know why all this has happened to me. You know, what's going on, man? It seems like everybody on my head, everybody coming at me. So why?" I say, why not? You were first placed on this earth, right?
Right.
Right? You hear what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
For mankind, right? So when you have not discovered your purpose and your gifts, you best believe the enemy has.
Most definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So best believe, man, while you're on this earth, the reason why we're doing this show is to have you realize, not maybe just in this show, but afterwards, to say, maybe I should sit down and figure out what my purpose is and my gifts are, right? Because I've heard in life that purpose is what you walk through in life, and then your gifts is nothing unless you share them. You're not supposed to keep them, right?
Exactly.
So I just look at men, and we're constantly have people coming at us. And why? Because you were that original promise, that plan, right? It's almost like a running back, right? So the defense is going to come at you because they know your skills and their talents, and they know that you're going to score.
Right.
So enemies in life, their main goal is to prevent you from scoring or for you to realize your full potential.
Exactly.
So, and I will repeat this again, we were put on this earth for one thing, and because of being disobedient, so now we do have to provide, right? But we just don't want to make that the whole focus. As I go through social media, everybody's talking about getting their grind on, making money, which is fine, right? But is that your purpose, and is that your gift, right? Because when I look at it, you have a lot of wealthy people who leave this earth lonely,
correct,
and feeling unfulfilled.
100%.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now look, can I ask y'all a question though? Right.
Okay.
What do y'all think y'all purpose is? What do y'all think y'all purpose is, brother? Or do you think do you think that you know your purpose, or do you think that you fall in line with your purpose?
I believe I fall in line with my purpose, and that's to truly show people how to live, right? Outside of what society says. I've been through, anybody who knows me, and man, I'm life certified in a lot of areas. So what I do is I don't stay there. I share what I've learned and how I've overcome. And then if anybody, the people who know me, know that I will sit down with you and talk to you about truly how to enjoy life while you're here, right? So in discovering what your purpose is. And I got a buddy at work, his name is Greg, and he's a poet. And I said, man, I got to have you on the show. You have to share this gift, right? So I'll talk to him about that.
Right.
And I talk to a lot of men, and they open up to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's one of my gifts. So I believe that is my purpose, right? Now,
okay.
I'm gonna pass it to you.
I'll catch it.
No, hold up. Did you already say what you felt yours was?
Oh, no,
I'm
gonna let y'all go and speak.
Okay.
Brother.
So for me personally, I believe my purpose is to help people And I say that because it's from a developmental point of view. When you've been through so much in your life and then you start to understand a lot of the spiritual things in your life, you'll start to understand all the personal things, and you'll start understanding the revenue side of your life. You become in knowledge, enlightened in a way that's totally different than the average person. So God endowed with me to say, okay, I'm going to put something in you that you can help other people, because you've been on so many different plains and plateaus and peaks and valleys that you will be able to help people in ways that they will not understand they need help, which is the lifestyle development in areas that they will propel them to even higher and greater heights. And you will sit back and don't worry about it, because I'm going to give you the glory. Don't worry about it.
So you feel like that's now that sounds like almost encouraging and helping them to discover their purpose in life.
Because that's
what you're saying,
correct.
Right?
Yep. And that's
That's what's happening.
Yeah, that's what I've been endowed with.
When they talk about winning souls, okay.
That's all you, Randy X. What's your purpose, brother?
Well, I truly believe that my purpose is, when I help bring out the best in others, it brings happiness to myself. And I say that because I'm a personal trainer, and I love to bring the best out of people. So I push them to a level where you got to break a person down. I'm talking about physically, to be able to build them back up mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. A lot of people have been through a lot of things in their life. So it's just not about the weight that people is trying to lose and trying to shape and mold themselves. It's about the confidence level that you putting instilling in people. It's about the security. It's about you having people believe in themselves once again, because a lot of people kind of gain weight. Most definitely women, because a lot of guys break women down, so they start to eat and start to lose themselves in the individual, like a lot of people do inside of relationships. A lot of people stop loving themselves inside of relationships. So in the midst of that, they got to gravitate towards something to help them get their confidence back. And by me being a personal trainer, right, I love helping people gain their confidence back. I love helping bring the best out of others, and that's how I get my happiness. My other attribute and career goals that I do is I'm a motivational speaker, so I love to encourage people to believe in themselves. My other career goal is I cut hair. So when you butter a brother up, you cut his hair, right? Right? Just like as women hairstylists, when a sister come and get in your chair and you hook her up with the braids, the zillions, right? And she feeling a little down at that time. But once she get through and see herself in the mirror, it helps build up confidence. So I does that as well when I cut a brother hair, because I'm gonna butter him up. So I know for sure that is my purpose. But in the midst of that, God says when you put others before yourself, he blesses you. So that's another form of being humble.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? That's true. Humility.
Right.
That's another, you must instill humility in your life in order to continue to receive the blessings from Allah at all times. So I know that that's most definitely what my purpose is, man, because if anybody know me, I'll always tell you to believe in yourself. And listen, we all bump our heads. Listen, I've been going through things as well, and, it's been hard along this journey, but I just keep it moving. Okay. You can't dwell on what you're going through, because you fall into a sorrow type of mourning type of state, and then that starts affecting your spirit. So just continue to keep believing in yourself and keep pushing, struggle is ordained.
Well, we're going to stay there with the health. So we're talking about men, right, on this edition. So, Randy, that was one of the things I wanted to speak to, and man's health. I listen to women, and most women after the age of 40, if they are dating and they meet a man, they start, among other things, what we're going to address, because we're all about putting man back at the head where they belong, right? So let's talk about this health thing, right? And the first thing when I thought about this, I said, how are we eating, right? So with men, we're made up of your testosterone levels, right? So I had Googled some foods that actually probably men eat every day that they don't realize that really diminish their testosterone levels. And one of the first products was soy products.
I need to know. So what you mean by soy? Go ahead.
Soy products.
Okay.
You'll find it in some yogurts.
Okay.
You'll find it in that's why they say, reading is powerful. So most foods that you buy, it can be anything on your shelf you have in your refrigerator.
Okay.
Just look at what's in there. Soy products decreases your testosterone levels. Now, what's that mean for men? Since what we're talking about here, you lose your ability. First, when your T levels go down, your energy goes down, and it also affects the way your body can burn fat,
Right.
build muscle, emotionally, how you're feeling. Since we grow, and then your sex life is down also. So that was one of the foods, and the other food was alcohol. When consumed,
Alcohol.
yes, that's the same, right? Overconsumption of alcohol, mint, which is found in most toothpaste.
Okay.
And so when I said, what's the alternative to that? A lot of people, it's toothpaste out there that doesn't have the mint in it, right? They talked about the licorice root. Licorice.
Right.
That also, these are things that we're probably consuming on a daily basis, and that was just a few foods. But Randy, like when we're talking about working out, and we're just going to talk about men, just to maintain a healthy structure and muscle tone, how many days a week, or is it such thing, should you be in the gym with some type of regular routine?
So I say at least 3 to 4 times for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can space it out because the body needs rest, but at the same time, calisthenics is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Jogging, running, but you can't just work on the physical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to work on the mental as well. But we know that when you release yourself due to the fact of the physical, by working out and training yourself, your mental starts to rebuild.
Okay.
Right? Because your stress level goes down, your anxiety level goes down. Now, pertaining to that, now you got to watch what you eat. Okay. So it don't matter what you do on a workout. You must, the diet is the most important part.
Yeah.
Because that affects the way you thinking as well. People don't know that what you eat affects the way you think too. It affects your thought process.
So at the top of your head, what are maybe like 2 or 3 foods that are probably best for you talking for clarity?
I mean, a lot of people don't. First and foremost, a lot of people don't drink water nowadays. Mm-hmm. So I'm not knocking nobody to drink alcohol or nothing like that, but you must consume a certain amount of water per day in order to flush all those impurities about yourself, right? But you must eat a lot of fruit.
Okay.
Right? You must eat a lot of fruit, and you must eat a lot of vegetables. That's something that a lot of people stay away from. Vegetables, fruits, and drinking water.
Are you talking about raw vegetables or steamed vegetables?
I mean, actually, both. It don't matter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Vegetables in general is good for yourself as long as fruit, as well as fruit.
Okay.
Right? Because the people just stay away from it all. So
Right.
listen, sometimes you got to start somewhere.
Okay.
So we just trying to, America's the most obese country in the world.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Right? And the reason for that is because it's more freedom and it's more plentifully wealth-wise. That's why a lot of people get a lot of opportunities by coming over here to America, because they can kind of do what they want to do, eat, and live a certain type of lifestyle that they want. You can't do that type of stuff in certain countries.
But also, too, I want to add this in. We are the one on a quick. Everything's microwave.
I wanted to say that. I wanted to touch on that. And why would you say that?
I mean, just literally everything that you do, if you think about it subconsciously, when you go somewhere, you're looking for the quickest way to get your food, the quickest way to get your drink, the quickest way to get even your workout stuff. I'm not looking for, like me, I'm not a workout person. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking for the easiest, fastest way to lose weight without putting the less work in as possible. But that's unrealistic.
Okay, so that's one of the things that I hear from ladies. They talk about physical condition. And since we touched base on that, The next thing would be not being financially prepared. So I know you're pretty much expert, both you guys in that area, but I'm going to go to you. If you can tell people like your background, maybe some of the things that you do that you maybe when you're dealing with the finances and you're looking at TRWs and credit reports, what are some of the top 2 things that creditors look for in order for you to acquire some type of credit? When we're talking about because we want to put them back where they should
supposed to be.
Right.
And I'll touch on this real fast. I'm a lifestyle development coach. And in saying that, what I did personally is that I looked at my own credit and planned out myself a 5-year plan on where I want to be with my credit. I'm only in year 1 of it, and I'm ahead of my goals already. And the reason why I'm ahead of my goals is that I also when I look at something credit-wise, I'll read it, I dissect it, then I research it. I read it, I dissect it, then I research it. The reason why I'm saying that is because everybody talk about, I'm going to use what you said, Chef, checking out your credit score. Well, when you check out your credit score, understand that there's 3 different agencies that deal with your credit score. Understand how the 3 different agencies work. When you apply for credit, understand which agency is pulling from which credit bureau in order for you to get finance for what you're trying to get finance for. It's important because a lot of people say, I got a 780, but you go somewhere and your low score might be a 690. And you talking about that 780, but that 690 at one of the credit bureaus was what they pulling from. So you didn't even know that 690 is actually going to hurt you, even though your top score is a 680.
So let me ask you this: for the men that are either already have families and trying to better position themselves, or for the men that are thinking about approaching a family and they really hadn't paid much attention to the importance of credit, what would you say would be probably one of the first and easiest steps to get them going to establish
To establish credit, I would say, Chef, the first thing I would do is do a secured credit card or a secured loan. I would actually do both if I could, but definitely either one of them is going to help you. From there, when you go to a bank or a credit union, go and ask the finance manager, when I go and open up this account with you, what are you guys going to be able to do for me? And understand that just because the institution is not in your city or not in your state doesn't mean you can't go to them. And what I mean by that is Navy Federal, Penn Fed, places like that. A lot of people are really big on talking about Navy Federal because Navy Federal is one of the one or two biggest credit unions in America. But what they do is they allow you to establish bigger amounts of credit.
Okay.
One of the things that I did, being that we from Detroit, is that I went to actually a Michigan-based credit union, and I told them what I was doing with a Navy Federal bank, which is out of state. So that made them have to play ball on a different level. But once again, I read, I researched, then I went and investigated. Okay. So you have to be able to do those things when you're looking at credit. Don't just assume that because I got a good credit score, I'm good, and don't assume because I got a bad credit score that I'm not. Because some institutions do deal with bad credit.
Okay.
So and the secured credit would be the simplest, fastest way to establish credit.
So would you be willing sometime after the show to post that on your page?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Like, first and foremost, I don't know if y'all know my history and everything, but I did 21 years in prison, and when I first got out, I was trying to reestablish myself pertaining to the credit part. So I had went into the credit union, and I had applied for a secure credit card as well, like 2 of them basically, and I had direct deposit, so that helped me build my credit up a little bit. But in the process, I was working at the plant for like 8 months, and I walked inside of the credit union and asked them for a $25,000 business loan. So me and the lady was doing all the paperwork and everything. And then when she asked me for certain paperwork and documents, I couldn't present that. And she asked me why, and I told her my journey. And she just bust out laughing. And she said, "You are very bold that you just walked up in here like you had everything together." But you know what she told me? She said, "You gonna make it." And then I said, "Why you say that?" She said, "Because you were so confident that you knew what you wanted and you was working towards it." And she was like, "I'm gonna help you get it."
Oh, wow.
And from that day forward, the lady been working with me, so I'm in the process now of getting a business loan and everything. I also had, through a lot of different networks, through my cuz Lee Polo and everything like that, we have got to navigating towards certain banks and stuff like that, and we putting a couple things together in order to really uplift our community. We really on something positive out here, so y'all need to tap into us. It really been a hard journey. I done had a lot of hiccups since I've been out and everything like that. But it's a blessing because struggle is ordained. So the more and more somebody tell me no, it just sparks something in me more to go even harder. So just keep striving every day, and you're going to reach your goal. It's okay to fall and fail in life.
That's true.
Right? Okay. Failure is success in my eyes, because once you at your low for so long, you learn to appreciate all the small things more than the big things. So whoever listening out there, it's all right to bump your head. Just keep it moving, and everything gonna be all right.
Okay, and that leads me into, and I gotta give you some of that. Thank you for the transparency. That is one thing that we need. We hear about so many on the other side of success when no one's really sharing the journey getting there, right? So we have to know through transparent conversation that everything's really not going to happen overnight, and a no is actually a yes, because you go back and research a little bit more. So I did want to ask you guys something, because we're talking about building man, we're talking about the assignment. So we're building, either you're building for your family or you're building for yourself. I was talking with you earlier, Polo, and one of the questions I had was, and I'm going to ask you also, Randy, how important is it for you, and I feel that I have an attorney now, right?
Right.
How important do you feel it is for a man to have an attorney, and there's different type of attorneys in their life, right, that you can call, right? Because the way I feel about it, when you don't have an attorney, if you're in any sort of situation, that time is always costing you.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So how important do you feel it is, and what different areas should you have an attorney in?
I appreciate that question, Chef, because it's like this. You need more than one attorney, guys, especially if you're talking about doing business. So I'm going to say from the personal side. The personal side is that you should have something, even if you don't have the attorney on retainer, at least have a relationship with him or his staff that know that if I need you, what do I need to do to have you so that I can call? And Randy X touched on it, relationships. These are all relationships that you should have. And don't feel bad if you don't have the money, because the phone call is just as good as the money. So one would be a personal lawyer. One will be a business lawyer. One will be a trust lawyer. One will be an IT lawyer. Because we come up with all these ideas not realizing that we're giving away our intellectual property. We come up with ideas when we don't know how a guy can say, hey, here go what you need to do to put that website together that you just thought about. And once again, I gotta reiterate, at least being able to know where to go to call when you got the money. Because most people wait till they get money to call people versus being prepared and saying, okay, I came into a windfall, now I'm ready to call Chef Wilson. I'm ready to call Randy X because I'm ready now. All I gotta do is pull out my index card and go for it.
All right. Thanks for that. Randy.
Yes.
Where you at in your journey of life? And because you really have to explain to people, you wear a lot of different hats also. How important do you feel that topic is about having those attorneys in your life right now?
I mean, I believe that's a very important, I think that's very important to have an attorney on standby at all times. You must prepare for what you're getting yourself in. But what I will share with everybody is you must educate yourself for yourself. You must gain the knowledge, because you could hire anybody. Mm-hmm. But if you not educated and don't have knowledge of what you are trying to hire them for, they could get over on you. So I'm a firm believer of educating yourself. You got to be knowledgeable in that certain area for yourself, so you won't let nobody get over on you at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you must. That's why this is very important. This is a beautiful, beautiful topic, because by everybody listening right now, I will say, read the United States Constitution. I used to go around in prison and tell everybody to read the United States Constitution, and they used to look at me like I was crazy. And then once people started doing it, they see how powerful it is for a young black man in general that you know the United States Constitution for yourself, because you got to know your rights. So that's even pertaining to being a paralegal. That's even pertaining to you knowing what you can and cannot do. And that helps you in how you navigate throughout life. Knowing that what you can do and what you can't do. See, a lot of us get in trouble and then try to educate ourselves about what's going on with the case and things like that. If you are already ready and already prepared for what's to come, then you know what they can and cannot do to you. And that's pertaining to business, that's pertaining to legal, civil, and everything. So my thing is, yes, it's good for you to have an attorney on standby at all times. Because if you locked up, you can't get yourself out, so you got to have an attorney to come and get you out. But you must be educated too, and be very knowledgeable about what you're getting yourself into.
Thank you for that. So the whole purpose for the show, once again, the assignment, we have to reassess, man, where we're at in life. We have to get off the social media, the reality shows, before your life becomes a reality show. It's plenty of time to do adult things. And when I do, I have 5 sisters, and I have a lot of lady friends.
Okay.
So when they always talking about it, man, just having some stability in his life. So the things we're talking about today, and I'm learning a lot also, is to realign things, right? And we have to slow down a little bit with just making money and prepare ourselves for the purpose, for the gifts, then that money will come. But like Randy X just said, and I'm just gonna throw in this, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's why I got out of that, basically. Right. And it was one, and I looked up, I don't know if you know, it's 2 locations, one in Southfield and one in Sterling Heights, Michigan. And it's called Adams, American Divorce Association.
Okay.
They do handle for men divorce, custody, child support, judgment, modification, spousal support, and property protection. So we know it's a lot of programs out here for ladies, but right now we're talking about building men. And so we talk outside of divorce, right? You have to have a life after divorce, right? Protect yourself, right? You have to protect yourself. This is just one of the ways, and it may seem a little odd, but with these men's editions, we're going to be giving this information out, right? Because I think you need to know, I need to know, you need to know, and the man that's watching. So better position yourself, right? In all aspects of life, we're talking about health, spiritually, financially, with your purpose, with your gifts, and you have very little time for nonsense in your life.
That's
right?
true. Mm-hmm.
Very, very little time for nonsense in your life. Randy, when you were talking about, and I want to go back to the health, your clientele, do you have a lot of men that come in there about their health, or you see that it's more women? And I'm going to tell you where I'm going with this.
No, it's actually more women.
Okay.
And I believe it's more women because a lot of women is attached to social media. Mm-hmm. So when you see a certain type of body structure, mm-hmm. that has women starting to doubt themselves and start to be insecure. And my thing to say to every woman that's listening and watching right now is you got to love yourself no matter what you think of yourself pertaining to social media, because we all are unique in our own like.
Oh,
So
that-
just because you might don't like yourself, somebody else do. But you got to believe in yourself in order for someone to love you, and you must love yourself first.
Exactly.
And I thank you for that. So, do you think that a lot of men today, they're more about the hustle than their health? And because I always said success is nothing if you're not here to celebrate it. It's called a memorial service. So, what encouraging words could you give men to be more serious and focused about their health before we close this out?
Well, first and
Mental
foremost,
health and physical health.
yes, sir. First and foremost, like when I was locked up, a lot of men used to deny going to the hospital, just like we do out here in society. A lot of us men don't go get checked out. A lot of men until it's too late. So my words to everybody that's watching, all the men, is go get checked out. See what's going on with yourself. You know, it's a blessing to know what's going on for yourself, because when it's too late, it's too late.
That's true.
You know, so it was a blessing. I'm gonna say this, not to say it in a, I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, because I don't want no one to get locked up. But I truly believe that it takes a circumstance, a certain person, or a certain situation to help bring out the best or the worst in yourself. When you're back against the wall, you truly gonna see who you are.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
That's true. It definitely changes.
Yeah, it most definitely changes.
Yeah, it definitely changes how you look at it. I know, personally, like Chef, I look at like we've been talking today about the assignment and like the dreams,
Absolutely.
and the passion and things of that nature, because I'm real big on looking at like my passion has become my dream. It's funny how I was trying to build my dream, but my dream turned out to be my passion.
All right.
So I came up with these things like 6 steps to building your dream out of your passion. So one would be find out what you're passionate about. 2 would be learn as much as you can about your passion.
Okay.
3 would be prepared to endure the rough and tough times. 4, expect to pivot along the journey. 5, remember to keep the faith. And 6, and this is crucial, please, 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 hold on to your dream. You will reach the reality of the dream when it is time.
Okay.
So,
Hey man, listen, I ain't lying. Listen, hey look, real talk though, right? Like that was really deep. The 6, say that one more time.
number 6 is please, please, hold on to your dreams. You will reach your reality of the dream when it is time.
Now, did y'all just hear what the brother said? When it's time. A lot of us be in a rush to do things and accomplish certain things. Now, I'm going to share this with y'all. I'm one of those individuals. Like, we can't be on this show and act like we exempt to what we talking about.
That's true.
See, I always share my journey and experiences because I want y'all to know I'm just like everybody else that's listening. So that's how people gravitate and relate to what we talking about. It's because we placing ourselves, that's what you call empathy. We placing ourselves in the situation and what we trying to help people get out of because we done been through it, right? But like since I've been out, I've been so in a rush to get myself together, to do this and that, to help other people out. And along that journey, I done bumped my head a lot of times.
Right.
So, being locked up for a long time, I thought I had patience, but I actually was still very impatient. And the reason I was impatient is because it was like a little pit bull being in the cage, and when he got out, he had an anxiety attack because he was so happy to be out. So I kind of found myself trying to accomplish a lot of different goals at the same time, and I messed around and bumped my head along the way several times. But it's been a blessing because now I done gained my patience again, so I started sitting down a little bit, and then I started rationalizing and analyzing and, putting the pieces back together for the puzzle, to get myself back together and everything. And, when you have a strong, powerful support system behind you, as far as friends and family and things like that, man, it's a blessing. So I say surround yourselves around individuals that in the certain type of lifestyle that you want to be in and moving forward in your life. Be around positive people. You don't be around people that don't want the best for you.
That's true.
Be around people that think y'all like-minded.
Absolutely.
Don't be around someone that's not falling in line. Don't be around selfish people. Society is so selfish that everybody is just thinking about selves right now, right? Just call somebody and tell them y'all love them. Just because nobody ain't called y'all don't mean that y'all can't call them. Just call them and tell y'all, this is the assignment today. Call somebody and tell them that y'all love them.
All right, I'm about to do it as soon as I get out.
And staying right there, that I just wanted to say something I was thinking about earlier. So never rush, but at the same time, always have a sense of urgency about your purpose in life.
Okay.
Slow down, man, when you're making decisions, right?
Right.
With your eyes wide open, paying attention to the engine that surrounds you. We have to learn how to do this here. Man, just slow down. Slow down with your decision making. And if you pay attention to the energy that surrounds you, and it may just be your own, right? You'll see that in life you're going to make better decisions. One other thing before we close out, I just call this part of the show Man Goals. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have any in this last 6 minutes, you step in, please.
Okay.
Leave this world with more accomplishments than regrets.
Right. I like that.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that. Man, leave this world with more accomplishments than regrets.
I like that.
So when we slow down, Randy X touched on it, Polo touched on it, I may have touched on it, and I'm sure there's other men out there that may have something to add. But when you get in control of your desires, you'll see that you're making better decisions than men. And desires just don't have to be for a woman. It could be desires for wealth. Because what happened, you don't make rational decisions.
Right.
When you're not in control of that part of your life.
That's
right?
true.
And Randy just said you're making decisions for the moment, for the most part.
Yep.
We have a few more minutes.
I'm gonna tap in real quick with that.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Because you just said something, and then Randy X touched on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let your tragedy be your reality. People are so afraid of their tragedies being the defining moment in their lives when it's not.
Not at all. Randy
said it's so good, and I thought about a raccoon. If you startle a raccoon, he's going to come out that corner fighting. Well, almost any animal do that. Even if they don't fight, they'll scurry away just so they be in a safe haven. See, people always think because I run from something that I'm a coward. No. I may be running from danger to get to a safety place. So just because I got tragedy in my life, I don't need to keep going through the tragic situation. Absolutely. Maybe I need to pull back. So my reality is it might be right around the corner. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what a lot of men, we do as men. We've been taught to, when we fall down, to get back up. And sometimes we need to fall down, roll over, crawl away, to come back so we can walk straight.
Another day.
But we're so afraid of that. We're afraid of that.
Yeah, I think it was a saying out so you can run, but, live to see another day. And that can be in any part of your life. We got a few minutes left, and then I want to close out with a few things. Mm-hmm. You had anything you want to add to that?
We got a call. Coming in.
Hello, caller.
Hi, how are you all?
Amazing. Who are we speaking with right now?
We are speaking with Randy X's sister, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
Three Polo's cousin.
What up, though?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yeah. I just want to say that I am extremely proud of my brother, Randy, and my cousin, Lee. I want you all to continue to stay focused. Well, what I'm going to do inspired me, and I am very, very proud of that.
Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you,
Continue
sis.
to let God lead you all.
Yes.
I am so proud of y'all. I really am. I just want y'all to stay focused and God lead you all.
Amen.
I know you're gonna go far. I know you're gonna go far.
All right, love
Wow,
you, sis.
thank you for calling in. So today we just, for the people who are listening, we just thank you for listening, tuning in. We're going to have a few more episodes, and you can find on my page or my Facebook page, or also with Randy or with Polo, some of the things we discuss, information that may be vital to help you men just get back in a position to establish yourself the way you should always have been. And it's a lot of programs out there, and for first-time homeowners, guys, just take a chance. Go, please. I did a little research, and they even do things for low income and low credit scores. Stop thinking that you can't. Right?
Let me hit this right quick, Chef.
Go ahead.
My brother talked about, it was a program dealing with, I want to say Michigan First, and it was dealing with low income housing because of low income mortgages. And
Okay.
they was looking for people, males in particular,
Okay.
to give mortgages to.
Is that recent?
It already passed. It already
Okay.
passed. But the point I'm about to make is what you just said. Please research what you're trying to do, because there are programs out here that you would never know about until you research it. Google it. Get on TikTok. Ask your Facebook friends and family questions about it, because there are so many things they have going on with the federal government right now, and they need people to get houses. Go ahead,
Okay.
Chef. I just want to hit that note real quick.
We'll catch you guys next week. Please catch Q for Poetry and Conversation.
Oh, yeah. Snap my fingers.
Yes. And catch her next week, Wednesday at 6. You have something you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to leave y'all on this note. Always remember this. Everything, people come in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Sometimes we don't want to let people go. But if it's not for your best interest to help